All right, so walk me through the progression of your career to where it's at now when you're named captain. Was this on your mind from the start, something you wanted to pursue?
Honestly, no, it really wasn't. When you look at kind of the situation I entered the league in with the Rush, was obviously very fortunate to be drafted high and then come on a team that was already a championship caliber team and to be winning right away. And with that, there was so many veteran guys that were great leaders when you look over the past years. So such a great core group of leaders, and then all of a sudden it kind of seems like it happened pretty quickly where guys move on, guys get older, and we're in kind of a phase where we've transitioned to a lot younger team, and it kind of seemed like it was right at this time for me to step up into that role.
How does the conversation go? Like, do you meet for supper? Are you getting a phone call? Are you talking with Jimmy? Walk me through how it comes about this summer.
Yeah. It was kind of on my mind when I saw where the team was going and moving on from some guys, but it kind of came pretty quickly, and it was kind of a conversation about, we want you to be the guy, but we want you to be here, long term. So that was part of me, signing an extension and being able to commit to wearing the C for a few years here at least. And I was, obviously honored by to be able to do that, and excited by the opportunity and the challenge.
So growing up, let's run it back to little Ryan Keenan, running around the floor watching your dad play. Was there ever a point in time where you thought your NLL career would lead you here?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I had some great memories. I was obviously so fortunate to be, as a kid, being a ball boy, for the Toronto Rock when my dad was an assistant coach there early on in his coaching career. And after that in Anaheim and in Portland and in Edmonton as well. So I got to be around the guys from a young age and understand what it was like to, be a pro and what it was at that next level. So obviously I had, dreams of being there one day. Luckily I was lucky to be on the floor and learn from some of these guys who, took the time to talk to me and throw the ball. And it definitely set something in my mind that, I wanted to be here someday in my career.
Who were the mentors and veterans that you looked up to throughout your lacrosse journey?
I think early on I was just a young guy, but those early Toronto Rock teams had obviously some superstars, and being a lefty kind of old guys, I wanted to be, I looked at guys like Colin Doyle and Josh Sanderson in Toronto, really tried to watch how they played and loved how they played. And then, later on, Brody Merrill has been a huge influence in my career and my life, and that was, I was able to play at the Hill Academy for him and grow a lot as a player and as a person there. But before that, even when he was with Edmonton, he was really helpful to me in being there, and him and my dad had a great relationship. So he was great for me. Other guys, Dan Dawson, when he was playing for my dad, he was just an awesome guy, and kind of took me under his wing. And I remember him stringing a couple sticks for me, and that was like gold for me. So yeah, I've definitely been fortunate to have some guys that I could look up to.
What's that moment like with your dad? I know how close your family is, where he's given so much back to the Rush organization in Saskatchewan in particular, that you get to, carry on. It's the next step of the legacy in Saskatchewan.
Yeah, I haven't, maybe taken time to think of it that way, but it's special. It's been, I don't know if this is my 7th year or something. It's been a while, and I'm thankful that I've been able to be here and play for him, and as him with GM now, it's been it's you couldn't ask for much more to be a part of this organization and to have him involved.
Is there a captain or a leader in maybe another sport that you look up to, you've looked into to be like, I like the way that that player leads their team? Is there someone like that who's got some influence on maybe how things are going to be happening the next couple of years?
Yeah, probably a few guys. I'm kind of other sports. I watch a lot of football and some basketball, and I think myself personally, I'm not someone who's going to give the big rah-rah speeches, and that's just not me, but I like to lead by example and set the tone with my work ethic, and have more personal conversations with guys in smaller groups to get them motivated. And I look at a guy like Tim Duncan. I've looked into a lot in the NBA, who for like 19 years led an incredible team and 5 championships. And you look at his style, not a vocal guy really at all, but behind the scenes, all the players loved and respected him because he was, there for them and would do the little things and talk to them on a more personal basis. So definitely I try and take from that. And then other guys, like you look at kind of the intensity and the in-game intensity of like a Tom Brady, who as a leader, you have to kind of aspire to that, to be someone who brings it every day and brings that intensity to pick guys up. And that's kind of what I'm trying to take on this year.
I remember a couple of years ago, this would have been the first year after COVID, the loss to San Diego at home, where they had half of their regulars. We talked after the game, and you mentioned accountability a lot. And I think that's one of the things that stuck with me about you. How do you, obviously that's huge in your mentorship roles, how do you make sure that gets to the new guys? Because there is a lot of new players on the team this year.
Yeah, I think it starts now, kind of building that culture. And I think I'm kind of fortunate this year that we have a lot of guys that are young and hungry, because they haven't won before. And sometimes it's obviously great to have guys with championship experience that have been there and know how to do it. But also, once you've been there and you get older, sometimes you can kind of take the foot off the gas. And I think you see with this group that there's a lot of guys extremely driven and focused and that want to win. So I think it's just with me and the other leadership group on this team, we have to kind of nurture that and drive it forward, and just kind of build this group, build the chemistry, because it's so many new guys, and a lot of guys never met before or played together. So that's the goal here, kind of in camp and early in the season, just to kind of build our chemistry and as a tight-knit group.
You've lifted the cup once in your career. What would it mean to Ryan Keenan to do that with the C on his chest in the market where the Keenan name runs through and through?
That would be special. It's the ultimate goal. And having done it once, it kind of just makes you want to be there that much more, right? Because you know how it feels. But it's different now to be able to do it as more of a leader on this team, and getting a little older, you realize you only have so many opportunities, so you want to make the most of it. So I definitely want it bad, and I know the rest of the group does as well.